Tom and George's 67 Pontiac Grand Prix convertible. This car has been a thorn in my side and a couple other guys that work on these as well. But the issues involved were done by, well, one, previous mechanics working on it and doing some serious hack job wiring. And two, we've had a little vendor issue with our wiring. We were going to be doing just the dash harness, which isn't that big of a deal, but you know, you have to send them your harness. So long story short, we had a harness in the trunk that Joe got, rest his soul. It was in the trunk for years, and it was for a gauges console shift automatic car. So I sent it off to Lectric Limited, who we ordered a dash harness from. They sent it back to me. Got all excited. Tom and George and I, we were laughing. We're like, all right, it's here. Let's get going. Pull the dash out, get it over here on the floor. Go put the replacement harness in. And they sent me one for an idiot light car. So I make phone calls, I make emails, big old argument with Lectric Limited, get it going, get them to, they never fessed up to anything. They're like, well, that was what we sent me. And it's like, well, it's not what I sent you. You know, I had pictures, everything. We had proof. So I go, fine. Let me pull the one out of the car. So I disassembled the remainder of it, the original one from the car, boxed it up, sent the remainder of the one that I had, which is the one Joe had, which they send you back your old stuff, which is cool. I'm good with that. And this one, which they sent us, which is for the idiot light car. So I send that all back. I say, double check, see what happened. I want to know where our plastic backing was and what happened with it. So, long story short, we finally get it back. I'm excited. You know, they told me, oh, we'll redo it, but we'll redo it for $500. It's like, well, I just gave you $750 and you screwed it up. So, got it sent off. I'm kind of jumping all over my story here. Got it sent off, got it back, and I said, whatever, fine, bill my card. So then I call them, I get everything back, and we get both of our original harnesses back in a big old bag here, a big old Ziploc down here on the floor. We get the rebuilt, correct dash harness, which is back in there. We'll get to that in a minute. And we get back the idiot light harness that, for all intents and purposes, I paid for. So I go to the idiot light harness, and I'm like, okay, I got somebody lined up that wanted to buy it. Cool. Unpack it. Lectric Limited, instead of using our harness, the one that I took out of the car, they cannibalized the dash light, idiot light harness. Cannibalized it. They took the bulkhead connector and the fuse block and all that from it, instead of taking it out of the one that I pulled out of the car. They told me it was to save time. I told them, well, now I have a harness I can't sell to anybody that I had lined up to sell somebody. So that's kind of BS. Really pissed me off. So we get to that, and here, this one right here, I mean, harness land. You know, we've been dealing with this nightmare for a long time. There was a lot of burnt wire, a lot of stuff on this old one. But, you know, don't do that to somebody who's already paid for something. So, I filed a dispute with my card. Oh, here's the one that came out of the car. So here it is. Here's the one that came out of the car. This was in the car was running. This is the one I sent them. This is the gauges harness. Yeah, it's a little nasty, what have you. But this is the actual one. So they took the cluster backing panel off of this one, and then they raped the one that I already paid for the other. So after disputing and arguing and calling and emailing and a lot of nasty words said, they ended up refunding me the $500. Which is good. I didn't have to float $500 out of my pocket. So fast forward, new harness, we get it in, we get it together, I paint and detail everything, and some stuff works, some stuff doesn't. I gotta take things apart. I'm sitting here chasing wiring with Tom for days on end. Like, he would come on his own time, and him and I would chase electrical and figure out things. And I mean, there is other stuff wrong. Don't get me wrong. There's been other stuff. I had to switch arms, sorry. With the car, there's been other things wrong on the car. And, you know, as we find them, we're chasing them. I've posted quite a bit of pictures and such of all the stuff we've had to do on this car, which has been months. So, at this point, I have to take all this stuff back out again. So everything that we've done has to come out again, because we got everything working, we got the car running, we've chased all of our fuses, everything, had all of our lights working, and then out of nowhere, we lose dash lights and clearance lights. So we're chasing. Tom and I spent days upon days of my time and his time. And I honestly spent, you know, I'm not billing him at this point for my time. So I've got days of work into this that I can't bill my customer for because there's something wrong with this harness. Because they were mad at us, so they did some spiteful, shady something. I don't know. I have to get this dash out now, get it pulled apart, and then once it's apart and on the floor, then my time, I start billing for it again. So I called Tom the other day and I said, hey, while we're in there, I know you want to do the engine bay harness anyway, so let me pull it out and I'll get it to you to ship out. So glad we're doing this. Let's see here. There is quite a few. There's one wire that was showing copper. I believe it's this purple one. It's got holes in it. One of these has pinholes in it. Down here. That's pretty bad. The regulator's been bypassed, which it's got a one-wire alternator now, but still, I don't like that. Starter wire has been bare. Has been bare and arcing, which would explain when we'd go to start it, it would sometimes work and sometimes just sit there and kill the battery. And yeah, it's in not horrible shape, but still pretty bad. So Tom's sending that off, but it's not going to Lectric Limited, as nothing we're doing is going to Lectric Limited ever again. I know Wick and I have had issues on his car as well with some of the stuff he purchased from Lectric Limited. Anyway, I digress. I'm ranting, I'm rambling, I'm upset with all the time I've had to spend. Anybody want to buy that? They can. You just got to provide your own fuse block and a couple connectors, but 67 Grand Prix console shift warning light car. There it is, fresh from Lectric Limited. Make an offer. And the nightmare continues.